Very happy evening to all.
Happy evening, sir.
So we are going to do the next slot, which is a very easiest slot called as taxation of political party, taxation of electoral trust, taxation of mutual fund and taxation of VPA. The fourth taxation, which will be called as taxation of other entities. This group is called as taxation of other entities. Very easy part actually, which may take maximum 1 hour, 1.5 hour to complete all the part. Sir, if I say political party, you should say section 13A. Political party, na sonna ni enna sollanum?
13A.
Political party.
13A.
Electoral trust nu sonna 13B. Electoral trust.
13B.
Political party.
13A.
Electoral trust.
13B.
What section 13A is saying? Generally, you know, the purpose of political party is to serve the people. Any income of political party which is chargeable under the head IFHP, appo political party ki income from house property indha income irukku, or IFOS, or capital gain, or any income by way of voluntary contribution received by a political party from any person shall not be included in the total income of the previous year of such political party. Wow. Political party ki eppadi irundhalum salary irukadu, correct ah? Yes sir. Political party ki enna irukalam? House property irkalam. Political party ki PGBP irkalam. Political party ki capital gain irkalam. Political party ka IFIs irkalam. But political party ஆரம்பிக்கிறது business காகவா? No sir. அப்ப அவங்களுக்கு என்ன இருக்க கூடாது? இருக்கலாம் ஆனா இருக்க கூடாது. கரெக்ட்டா? அவங்க if they want they can do business, but they should not do business. Correct? So any income earned by IFHP, capital gain, IFOS, and in particularly voluntary contribution, is exempt under section 13A. Is exempt under section
13A.
Proviso provided that such political party keeps and maintains enough accounts and other document that would enable the AO to properly deduce its income therefrom. In respect of such voluntary contribution, other than contribution by way of bond, electoral bond, in excess of how much? Such political party keeps and maintains a record of such contribution and name and address of the person who had made such. The accounts of such political party are audited by, as defined in explanation below, subsection 2 of section 288. No donation exceeding 2000 is received by such political party otherwise than by account pay check or account pay bank draft or account electronic clearing system or such other electronic mode as may be. So what they are saying, if you are a political party, your income is exempted under section 13A. What are the income exempted? IFHP, IFOS, capital gain, voluntary contribution. Correct? But in order to enjoy this exemption, you should satisfy certain conditions. Conditions are, number 1, you should keep and maintain enough accounts. Neenga books of accounts maintain pannu. Number 2, if you are getting voluntary contribution in excess of 20,000, you have to maintain the jadagam. You have to maintain the jadagam. Yaar kuduthavangaloda address enna. And the books of accounts should be audited by a chartered accountant. And no donation in excess of
2000
should be received otherwise than by account pay check or account pay bank draft or electronic clearing system or such other electronic mode as may be. For the purpose of this proviso, electoral bond means a bond referred in explanation to subsection 3 of section 31 of the Reserve Bank of India. Provided further that if the treasurer of such a party or any other person authorized by the political party in this behalf failed to submit a report under 29C of the ROPA for the financial year, no exemption under this section shall be available for the party. So this is like additional condition. So in order to enjoy section 13A, you should maintain books of accounts. Such books of accounts should be audited by a chartered accountant. You should furnish a report under the ROPA, Representation of People Act. If anyone is contributing more than 20,000, you should maintain the jadagam. And you are not supposed to receive cash in excess of 2,000. That is, you should not receive, sir, cash. Provided also that such political party furnishes a return of income for the previous year in accordance with the provisions of subsection NB of section 139 on or before the due date under that section. That means that political party should furnish a return under section 139 subsection 4B. B stands for BJP. That is why it is political party. This is the summary of what? Political party. Exemption to political party. Now, political party.
13A.
Section 13A of the Income Tax Act grant exemption from tax to political party in respect of their income specified below. What and all income is exempted? Income from house property, income from other sources, capital gain, voluntary contribution. The aforesaid category of income would qualify for exemption provided additional condition for availing the benefit of said section which are as under are met. So in order to enjoy exemption under section 13A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 conditions should be. This can be summarized into 5 conditions. Number 1, maintain such enough accounts and other documents to enable the AO to properly deduce the income therefrom. Number 2, maintain a record of each such voluntary contribution other than in the bond, electoral bond, in excess of 20,000 and the name and address of the. No donation exceeding 2,000 to be received otherwise than by account pay check or account pay bank draft or use of electronic clearing system or through a bank or accounts of audited, sir, audit of an accounts of political party by submission of report under 29C of the ROPA and furnishing of return of income for previous year in accordance with 139(4)B. இது எப்படி ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கலாம்னா number 1 முதல்ல நீ என்ன மெயின்டைன் பண்ணணும். This is the condition number 1. Condition number 2, two things are there. In excess of 20,000 you should maintain the jadagam. In excess of 2,000 you are not supposed to receive in cash. ரெண்டாவது விஷயம் ரெண்டுல ஆரம்பிக்குது ரெண்டு. Next one, the books of accounts maintain பண்ணதனால it should be audited by a chartered accountant. That's what the third one. 3 levels complete பண்ணாதான் chartered accountant. That is a condition number 3. Once CA audit பண்ணியாச்சுனா சார் நீ report furnish பண்ணணும். Report under ROPA which is representation of people act. Then you have to file the return of income under section 139(4)B. So number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 conditions should be satisfied in order to enjoy 13A. Appa political party na?
13A.
You just think that's it. Assessment of political party comes to an end. Sir la illa. Mudincha avladha. Political party for the purpose of this section, political party means a political party registered under section 29 of the ROPA. Electoral bond issued by scheduled bank as authorized by central government under the scheme notified by the government, central government. Come on. Illustration number 1, book back of ICA. Explaining the context of provisions of the act, whether the income derived during the year under 31/3/2024 in the following case shall be subject to tax in assessment year 24-25. A political party duly registered under 29A of the ROPA received rent of 1,25,000 per month. This will be taxable under IFHB. Is IFHB covered under 13A?
Yes, sir.
Of one of its building let out to a bank from 1/6/2023. Answer. Rent received by political party from bank is an income chargeable under the head IFHB. However, according to provision of NA, income from inter alia, house property shall not be included in the NA income of the political party registered under section 29A of the ROPA provided the political party fulfill the condition as specified therein including N of income for the previous year in accordance with the provisions of 139(4)B on or before the due date specified under what? Therefore, if the stipulated conditions are fulfilled by N party, rent of rupees 1,25,000 per month received by registered political party from letting out of its building to a bank would not be included in that. How many conditions? Condition number 1. Books of accounts should be maintained. Number 2, 20,000, 2,000. That condition is not applicable for rental income. Upon the 5 condition, either the applicable condition ho, adala satisfy panna podum. Number 3 should be audited by a mandatory. Number 4, furnishing a report under ROPA mandatory. A return of income under section 139 subsection 4B mandatory. I am moving into ILLU number 2. This is an ICA question, shall we? Books of accounts maintained by national political party registered with election commission for the year under 31/3/2024 disclose the following receipt. Rent of property let out to a departmental store at Chennai. This will be taxable under IFHB. This is covered under
13A.
interest on deposit other than bank. This is taxable under NOS. Contribution of 21,000 which is more than from 100 persons who are secret their names will be taxable. Sir, this no exemption under NIA. Cash contribution of 10% by way of electoral bond, no problem. Electoral bond, no issues. Cash contribution of 2,000 each, moi panam vekkira mari vechirukkom. From 1,000 members recorded in books of accounts, no 13A taxable. Net profit of cafeteria, tavarana sale, PGBP, sir, will be taxable. Compute the total income of the political party for assessment year 24-25 with reason for inclusion or otherwise. The total income of political party registered with the Inner Commission is to be computed as per 13A under the income derived from house property, income from other source, and income by a voluntary contribution received from any person on fulfilling of the condition as mentioned thereunder. Or, however, in this case, cash contribution next of 2,000 is received from etna person? Political party has violated the condition of receipt of donation through account, paycheck or draft or prescribed electronic mode. Further, political party has also violated the condition of maintenance of records in case of donation exceeding received otherwise than by electoral bond. Hence, the total income has to be computed as per without providing for exemption available under NIA. Apingwa, sir, the rent of property of 8 lakh, 6 lakh located at Chennai, assuming the same is the annual value. Less 30%, 6 lakh plus 30% minus pannena 4,20,000 is the taxable NHP, IFHP. Sir, again sir, tax avunu. Adu tax agavendiya. Have all the conditions of 5 conditions satisfied? No. 20,000 மேல 2,000 மேல violate பண்ணிட்டாங்க. ஒரு condition violate பண்ணா கூட 13A கிடைக்காது. ஒரு condition violate பண்ணா கூட. This is view number 1. You are having an alternative view, my dear lovable students. அதுல எந்த condition violate பண்ணாங்களோ அந்த பார்ட்ட மட்டும் எக்ஸாம் பண்ணிக்கலாம். நான் சொல்றேன் உங்களால appreciate பண்ண முடியுதா? ரெண்டு stringent view, both are given in the ICA. What they are saying, எத்தனை condition? 5 conditionல ஏதாவது ஒரு condition என்னன்னா கூட violate ஆனா கூட உங்களால 13A என்ஜாய் பண்ண முடியாது. It's very strict. அதை பேஸ் பண்ணி ஆன்சர் போட்டிருக்காங்க. Number 2, interest received on deposit, how much lakh? Contribution from எத்தனை person? 100%. Who has secreted their name, அவங்களால தான் வாழ்க்கை நக்கிட்டு போயிடுச்சு. 21 lakh. Contribution from 10% of electoral bond, 25,000 taxable. One thing taxable, everything taxable. Cash contribution of 2,000 each from 1,000 members recorded in the books of accounts, 8 lakh, 21 lakh. Net profit of cafeteria at Delhi, 3 lakh. Total income is 56 lakh, 75,000, 70,000. In this, what is the assumption is, out of 5 conditions, if one condition has not been satisfied, alternatively the political party can contend that only 8 lakh. On the taxable on account of non-maintenance of records and receipt of any donation. In which case total income would be computed as under. நீங்க சொல்றீங்க that condition, that income. அப்படி நீங்க எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா computation of total income of national political party, rent of property 6 lakh is exempted. Interest received on deposit is exempted. Whereas contribution from etna person who has secreted their name of 21,000 is contribution from 10% way of electoral bond, 25,000 is because this is by way of என்ன bond? Electoral bond na எப்படி வேணா contribute பண்ணலாம். Cash contribution of 2,000 each from 1,000 member recorded in the books of accounts, 21 lakh taxable because என்ன contribution? Net profit from cafeteria, you are not supposed to have a cafeteria, 3 lakh. So the total income will be. This answer is based upon if you are not satisfying the relevant condition, relevant income will be taxable. So 2 options are available. You have to write both the 2 options. You know one thing, my dear lovable students, taxation of comes to an. I'm moving to the next one, taxation of electoral trust. What taxation of electoral trust? What is this electoral trust? This is the hot topic of India now. Supreme Court, some cases are going with regard to the electoral trust. So because of the national importance, they may ask for 5 mark in examination, not because of the topic importance. Since this is a discussion point, they may ask question. The concept of electoral trust has been introduced with a view to reform the system of funding in a party. You know one thing, the political party is living because of the corporates in India, big corporates. That is the only sole reason why 30% become 25, 25 become 22, 22 become 15. In the meantime, it may become tax free also, I don't know. The industries are reluctant to fund any political party as their names get associated with that in a party. However, the industry prefer funding electoral trust since the name of the political party is not associated with the trust. For example, if ANM Classes is there, if ANM is a very big person having crores and crores of money, if I am contributing, sir, 1 crore, 2 crore, 5 crore, 10 crore to a particular political party like BJP or Congress, then everyone knows that ANM belongs to BJP or Congress or DMK or ADMK, hello sir, Seaman, as the case may be. So what will happen? Students may not come. They may have a misunderstanding that ANM belongs to this political party. So he will support, sir, only this particular party and he will always be against Congress. So students may think that I am biased to one of the political parties. So I want to do political contribution to the political party who I love. But I don't want my name to be out that I have contributed to this political party. So anonymous donation மாதிரி நீ ஒரு ஊமக்கத்தில் ஒரு பேப்பரில் எழுதி கொடு, யாருக்கு போய் சேரணும், அதை நாங்கள் எந்த பொலிட்டிக்கல் பார்ட்டிக்கு போய் சேர்க்கணுமோ சேர்த்துருவோம். சேர்த்துட்டாங்க. So electoral trust has been defined in 222 AAA to mean நீ ஒரு ட்ரஸ்டா ஓபன் பண்ணுவ இல்ல approved by CBDT and that trust should be approved by and accordance with the scheme made in regard to the என்ன government, central government. அப்ப நாங்க ஒரு ட்ரஸ்ட் ஓபன் பண்ணி வைப்போம். நீ பொலிட்டிக்கல் பார்ட்டி காசு கொடுக்காத, நீ அந்த ட்ரஸ்ட்டுக்கு காசு கொடு. நாங்க அந்த ட்ரஸ்ட் வந்து நீ யார் பேர்ல எழுதி இருக்கியோ அந்த பேர்ல நாங்க வந்து பிரிச்சு கொடுத்துருவோம். நீ யாருக்கும் பர்టిక్యులரா எழுதலைன்னா நாங்க எல்லாருக்கும் ஒரு பர்టిక్యులர் ரேஷியோல நாங்க என்ன பண்ணுவோம்னா ஸ்ப்ளிட் பண்ணுவோம். Section 13B provides that electoral trust must function in accordance with the rules made by the central government. நாங்க என்ன சொல்றோமோ அதை பொறுத்து தான் நீங்க என்ன பண்ணணும், ஃபங்க்ஷன் பண்ணணும். யாரு? Section 224 defines income has been amended to provide that any voluntary contribution, that is donation received by a trust, shall be deemed to be its income. So any income received by the electoral trust by way of any contribution will be treated as income in the hands of the electoral trust. அப்ப அந்த ட்ரஸ்டோட என்னவா ட்ரீட் பண்ணுவாங்க? Since electoral trust is not a religious or any trust, exemption under 11 and 12 is not available. 11 and 12 exemption கிடையாது. Therefore 13B and 13A political party, 13B provides as under any voluntary contribution received by any trust shall not be included in the total income of the previous year of such electoral trust if such electoral trust distribute to any party registered under NA of the ROPA during the said previous year 95% of the aggregate donation received by during the said previous year along with what? If any brought forward from earlier previous year and such electoral trust functions in accordance with the rules made by the government. So for example, I am an electoral trust, I am getting various contributions or donation. These donations or contribution out of that 95% should be distributed to the registered political party in India. And I should run as per the rules made by the government, central government, then entire income will be exempted in the hands of the electoral trust. Charitable trust, out of 100 rupees, 15% is a blanket deduction. The remaining 85% has to be applied for the purpose of charity in India. Whereas, my dear lovable students, with regard to the electoral trust, out of 100, only 5% can be claimed as blanket deduction. Remaining 95% should be. That means electoral trust is acting as just a pass-through reference, getting money from the like a mutual fund. They are just consolidating the money from the various public and they are distributing to the respective political party, whoever. 80 Jujube and 80 GGC has been amended to provide that if any person makes donation to any trust, then donation shall be allowed as deduction in computing the total income of such person. Instead of you directly contributing to a political party, if you don't want to involve your face with the politics, it's not a small issue and it's a big issue. For example, if Rajinikanth has contributed 5 crore to BJP, what will be the consequences for the government? Correct? Yes, sir. If what Rahul Gandhi, sir, will ask to the Rajini, like that he will ask to Rajini. Then they will portray that Rajini is a person belongs to BJP or Rajini is a person belongs to Congress. Correct? Maybe because of love and affection to one of the person, he may contribute to that 5 crore. He may love Annamalai. He may give 5 crore. But that doesn't mean that he belongs to such a political party. Correct? So, business will get affected. business will get affected. So a donation received during the previous year by an electoral trust shall be exempt from tax if such electoral trust distribute any political party during the year. Previous year. 95% of the total donation received by during the previous year along with the what? If any brought forward from earlier previous year. If electoral trust invests the donation received by in say bank FDR, then the interest from such investment is not exempt under NB and shall be ஏன்னா நீ ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கிறது FD போடுறது கிடையாது. நீ ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கிறது டிஸ்குன்னு வாங்கிட்டு புஷ்குன்னு கொடுத்துடணும். நீ 95% என்ன பண்ணிடணும்னா டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்ணிடணும். அதுதான் உன்னோட வேலை. உன் கையில் தங்கவே பின்ன எதுக்கு சார் 5% அட்மினிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் பர்பஸ்க்காக. நீ வந்து வேலைக்கு ஆளை வச்சிருப்ப, இடம் எடுத்திருப்ப, ரெண்ட் கொடுப்ப, இபி கொடுப்ப. நோட்ஸ் ஒன்லி டொனேஷன் இஸ் எக்ஸம்ப்டட். அதர் இன்கம் லைக் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் ஆன் டெபாசிட் இஸ் ஃபுல்லி அதுக்கும் 13B-க்கும் கான்ட்ரிபியூஷன் இஸ் ரிசீவ்ட் ஃப்ரம் என்ன சோர்சஸ்? பர்மிட்டட் சோர்ஸ். யார்கிட்ட இருந்தெல்லாம் கான்ட்ரிபியூஷன் வரணும்னா இண்டிவிஜுவல் என்ன சிட்டிசன்? இண்டிசன் சிட்டிசன். என்ன கம்பெனி? ரெசிடென்ட் ஃபார்ம் HUF AOP ஆர் BI. இவங்க கிட்ட இருந்தா நீ என்ன வாங்கணும்? காசு வாங்கணும். சார் அப்போ ஃபாரின் பீப்புள் கிட்ட இருந்து காசு வாங்க கூடாதா? கூடாது சார். நான் பர்மிட்டட் சோர்சஸ். இண்டிவிஜுவல் என்ன? நான் இந்தியன் சிட்டிசன். தட் மீன்ஸ் இந்தியாவுக்கு வெளியே இருக்கிறவங்க அவுட் சைடு இந்தியா வாங்கக்கூடாது. எனி ஃபாரின் என்டிட்டி வாங்கக்கூடாது. எனி அதர் என்ன ட்ரஸ்ட்? ஒரு எலக்ட்ரல் ட்ரஸ்ட் இன்னொரு எலக்ட்ரல் ட்ரஸ்ட். இது என்ன சேரிட்டபிள் ட்ரஸ்டா? 95% கொடுக்கறதுக்கு டைம் ஆன போது இந்த நீ வச்சுக்கோ, திரும்பி வச்சுக்கோ. கவர்மெண்ட் கம்பெனி நாங்களே காசு வாங்குறோம். எனி என்ன சோர்ஸ்? அவங்க எல்லாம் மூஞ்சி காட்டினா என்ன பிரச்சனை? அவங்க மூஞ்சி காட்டினா பிரச்சனை இல்லை. ரெசிடென்டோட மூஞ்சி தான் வெளியே தெரியக்கூடாது. நீங்க ரெசிடென்ட் கிட்ட இருந்து என்ன வாங்கிக்கலாம்? இண்டிவிஜுவல் இந்தியன் சிட்டிசன், இந்தியன் கம்பெனி, ரெசிடென்ட் ஃபார்ம் HUF. இவங்க எல்லாம் யாருக்கு கொடுத்துட்டு? எலக்ட்ரல் ட்ரஸ்ட் கொடுத்துட்டு எலக்ட்ரல் ட்ரஸ்ட் பொலிட்டிக்கல் பார்ட்டி கொடுப்பாங்க. நாளைக்கு ஒரு இண்டிவிஜுவல் நான் இந்தியன் சிட்டிசனோ, ஃபாரின் என்டிட்டியோ, எனி அதர் எலக்ட்ரல் ட்ரஸ்டோ, கவர்மெண்ட் கம்பெனியோ, எனி ஃபாரின் சோர்ஸோ டைரக்டே யாருக்கே கொடுக்கலாம். நீங்க எதுக்கு தேவையில்லாம இங்க வந்துக்கிட்டு? ரைட்டா? நீ கிளம்பி, அவனுக்கான இடம் கிடையாது. Contribution is received only after donor furnishes his what? PAN or passport number with if the non-resident donor. Hello sir. Contribution is received only by way of NPA check or demand draft or NSCS. Electoral trust may spend up to 8% of the total donation received for the purpose of dashes affairs. Maximum limit 5 lakh for எத்தனை year? First year 5 லட்சம் ரூபாய் தான் செலவு பண்ணணும். அதுக்கு மேல செலவு பண்ணா கண்ணில் குத்துவேன் நான். And 3 lakhs for என்ன year? Subsequent year. நீ செலவு பண்றதுக்காக ஆரம்பிக்கல, நீ வாங்கி டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்றதுக்காக ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்க. Trust get its books of accounts audited by a chartered accountant in form number 10BC and furnishes the same along with its return of income on or before under section 139 subsection 1. I am doing illu number 1. You will be having a 1000% clarity. Donation received by the electoral trust எத்தனை crore? 10 crore. 10 கோடி வந்திருக்கு. எது? donation. யாருக்கு? Interest earned by electoral trust எத்தனை lakhs? 40 lakhs. மாட்டிக்கிட்ட பங்கு. You are not supposed to get any interest. You are having two cases, case number 1 and case number 2. Case number 1, electoral trust distribute 9.5 crores to என்ன party? தப்பிச்சிட்டுடா. ஏன்னா 100 ரூபாய் வந்தா 9.5%, 95% நீ டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்ணணும். சார் 10 crore donations are exempt under section 13B. If you distribute 95%, that means உனக்கு வந்தது 10 crore ஆனா நீ டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்றது 9.5 crores, still balance 0.5 crores, still 10 crore is exempt under section 13B. rupees 40 lakh interest is taxable under IFIs. அதுக்கும் 13B க்கும் என்னவே இல்லை, tax கட்டி சாவு. If in the next year electoral trust receive 20 crore, என்ன business பாரு, முன்னாடி 10 கோடி எவ்வளோ இருக்கு, as donation, then the next year 20 crore shall be exempt if electoral trust distribute 95% of 20 crore 50 lakh. First year how much received? 10 crore. How much distributed? But how much is exempted? 10 crore. That means how much extra exemption? That will be added to the next year as surplus. That's what, when they explained the concept, they said that, inga paru, such electoral trust distribute to any party registered under section 29A of the ROPA during the said previous year, 95% of the aggregate donation received by it during the said previous year along with the surplus. That surplus means whatever you have enjoyed without contributing. But இந்த மாதிரி பஞ்சாயத்து வந்து charitable trust இல்ல. Because charitable trust is for the purpose of spending. Electoral trust is for the purpose of passing. Clear? So, current year la vanda 20 crore plus 50 lakhs, that means 20.50 crore oda 95% நீ என்ன பண்ணணும்? டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்ணணும். நீ ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணா கத்தி எடுத்து குத்திடுவேன் நான். யாருக்கு டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்ணுவேன்? பொலிட்டிக்கல் பார்ட்டி இந்த 1 year. Next case number 2. Electoral trust distribute 9 crore to a political party. First year la vandadu evlo? 10 crore. Ana distribute pannadu 9 crore. Is it less than 95%? Yes sir. Then what will not be applicable?
13B will not be applicable.
Exemption under 13B shall not be available and 10 crore is not exempted. Therefore 10 crore 14 lakh shall be taxable as income. Savda. That means at least 95% of the donation received by the electoral trust should be passed on to the registered political party in India. If they have contributed 95%, entire 100% is exempted and that difference can be treated as surplus for the next year. Why sir they are treating it as surplus? You said that 5% is for the administration purpose. Yes man, that's what first year 5 lakh and beyond years only 3 lakh is allowed. It is not 5%. So 5% or 3 lakh lower can only be allowed as allowed for that. An electoral trust approved by NADT is not liable to income tax in respect of voluntary contribution received and other income. Discuss the correctness of the statement. It is based upon condition. Section 13B provides exemption in respect of any contribution received by any electoral trust approved by yaar in accordance with the scheme to be made by any government. Voluntary contribution received by any trust would be treated as it is income under section N24 but shall be exempt under NB if the trust distribute to a registered in a party during the year. 95% of the aggregate donation received during the year along with what? Brought forward from earlier assessment year. Are you able to understand that? Another condition for availing the benefit under this section is that electoral trust should function in accordance with the rules framed by the. It may be noted that exemption under 13B will be available only in respect of any contribution. The exemption cannot be claimed in respect of any other income of the NA trust. Therefore, the given statement is not. I'm moving into illustration number 3. What is the effect of contribution made by individual to an electoral trust on his total taxable income? He can claim deduction under 80GGB, 80GGC as the NA may be. This statement is partially correct. Section 13B provides as under. Any voluntary contribution received by any trust shall not be included in the total income of the previous year of such electoral trust if such electoral trust distribute to any political party registered under NA or ROPA during the said previous year 95% of the aggregate donation received by during the said previous year along with surplus if any brought forward from any earlier NA year. Such electoral trust function in accordance with the rules made by the NA government. Therefore, if the above said conditions are fulfilled, the voluntary contribution received by any trust shall not be included in the total income of the electoral trust. However, any other income shall be continued to be taxable in the hands of. Section 133B provides exemption in respect of voluntary contribution only. Section 80GGC, because 80GGB is applicable to company, they specifically asked for individual. 80GG provides that if any person makes a donation to any trust, then such donation shall be allowed as deduction in computing the total income of
Such person.
I'm moving into illustration number 3. What are the conditions to be satisfied by an electoral trust for claiming the benefit of exemption of its income? 95% of the current year donation plus the surplus should be distributed to registered political party in India. Is this benefit available in respect of all income earned by electoral trust? No. Only for voluntary contribution this will be applicable. As per section 13B, any voluntary contribution received by a trust shall not be included in the total income of the previous year of such electoral trust if such electoral trust distribute to any party registered under 29A of the ROPA during the said previous year. 95% of the aggregate donation received by during the said previous year along with surplus if any brought forward from any such electoral trust functions in accordance with the rules made by the donation received during the previous year by any trust shall be exempt from tax if such electoral trust distribute to any political party during the previous year 95% of the donation received by it during the previous year along with surplus if any brought forward from the earlier. If the electoral trust invests the donation received by it in bank FDR, then interest from such investment is not exempt under and shall be the benefit of exemption under NAB is available only for NA contribution and not for any other income, all other income shall be taxable. Normally, with this we can say that we are through with two topics we have done. Number one, taxation of political party, taxation of. I'm moving into taxation of income from units, which is NF fund, mutual fund. Sir, it's very simple, man. We have talked about pass-through reference, REIT. The same is mutual fund. You know the working of mutual fund? Yes, you would have learnt in your AFM. You would have calculated your NAV, right? Sir, various unit holders will be there. Unit holders will invest in mutual fund. Mutual fund will invest in various investments and they'll be generating return. So, mutual fund will be getting return and this mutual fund will be distributing that return to the unit holders, right? What section 1023D is saying that any income earned by the mutual fund will be fully exempted in the hands of the mutual fund because of N through reference. So, exemption of all income of mutual fund 1023D. All income of all mutual fund are exempt from tax because of what through reference? Exemption of all income of administrator and specified company. All income of administrator and specified company are exempt from tax by virtue of UTI. That mutual fund are exempted, UTI are exempted. We are having a proviso to section 57, deduction. Yeah. Provided that no deduction shall be allowed from dividend income or income in respect of units of NF fund. Specified under. Or income in respect of units of specified company defined in explanation to section N35. Other than deduction on account of N expenses. And any previous year such deduction shall not exceed 30% of dividend income or income in respect of such units including total income for that year without deducting under this section. What this proviso is saying? Listen. If you are getting 100 rupees as dividend from NF fund, mutual fund, and to invest that in mutual fund, you have borrowed money. For that you have to pay. If you pay 25 rupees interest, this 25 will not be allowed as a deduction. The maximum 20 rupees only will be allowed as a deduction as per proviso to 57 clause 4. Right. Are you all really with me? Analysis of provision relating to taxation of income distributor on what? Units. This is analysis prior to amendment made by Finance Act 2020. Because earlier dividend was exempted in the hands of the unit holders. But now only they made taxable. Income distributor on unit to NF holders was subject to tax in the hands of distributing NF fund. அப்ப முன்னாடி யார் கையில டாக்ஸ் பண்ணிருந்தாங்க? மியூச்சுவல் ஃபண்ட் கையில. யார் கையில exempted? இப்ப யார் கையில exempted? யார் கையில taxable? Or specified company at the rate specified in 115R. Further, such income was exempted in the hands of unit holder under section NFI. ஆனா இது அப்படியே உல்டாவா மாத்திட்டாங்க. However, the Finance Act 2020 has shifted the incidence of tax charge from the NFI and specified company to the hands of NF holder. Such distributed income shall be taxable in the hands of NF holder at the applicable NF rate. அப்ப முன்னாடி எப்படினா மியூச்சுவல் ஃபண்ட் கையில taxable, யூனிட் ஹோல்டர் கையில exempted. இப்போ எப்படினா மியூச்சுவல் ஃபண்ட் கையில exempted, யூனிட் ஹோல்டர் கையில as per the proviso to section. While computing income in respect of units of mutual fund or specified company, a deduction on account of interest expense is allowed subject to maximum limit of 30% of income before such deduction. However, the proviso does not apply to the income received in respect of units from what? அப்ப அட்மினிஸ்ட்ரேட்டர் கிட்ட இருந்து உனக்கு என்ன வந்துச்சுனா income வந்துச்சுனா without limit you can claim deduction. Accordingly, all expense incurred by assessee towards earning such income shall be allowed as a deduction under section N7. அப்ப 57 ரொம்ப தெளிவா சொல்றாங்க. யார் கிட்ட இருந்து டிவிடெண்ட் வரணும்? மியூச்சுவல் ஃபண்ட் கிட்ட இருந்து, இல்லனா யூடிஐ கிட்ட இருந்து. ஆனா யார் கவர்ட் இல்ல? அட்மினிஸ்ட்ரேட்டர் கவர்ட் இல்ல. அட்மினிஸ்ட்ரேட்டர் கிட்ட இருந்து வந்தா 20% ரெஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் பண்ண வேண்டிய அவசியம் இல்ல. TDS on income in respect of units. Section 194K provides for deduction of TDS at the rate of on payment of any income in respect of units of NF fund or administrator or NF company to a resident NF holder. So if a resident NF holder, unit holder is getting dividend from NF fund, mutual fund or UTI or administrator, then TDS has to be deducted under section 194K. Correct? Provided that no deduction shall be made where such income does not exceed and a 5,000 rupees exceed avalena TDS pudikka vendiya or is in the nature of N gain. Capital gain ku TDS kadayadu. Correct? The provisions of section NK apply in respect of distributed income, that is amount of income distributed by NF fund or specified company or Therefore, on redemption of units or repurchase of unit, capital gain shall arise, which shall be taxable in the hands of unit holders, unlike in case of NBAC or shall. So, if any income has been distributed by the mutual fund to the unit holder, they are liable to deduct TDS under what K? If the income exceeds, now we are going to talk about capital gain, that is a redemption or what? Sale. Units of equity oriented mutual fund. நீ mutual fund ல invest பண்ணிருப்ப, அது equity oriented mutual fund இருக்கலாம், இல்லைனா debt oriented mutual fund இருக்கலாம், ரைட்டா? Long term capital gain on units of என்ன oriented mutual fund shall be taxable under section 112A at the rate of 10%. Why? Because it's an asset. Super asset. Equity oriented mutual fund are super asset, where such units are sold through edu valiya and STT has been paid on such sale transaction. Sir, units of UTI பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் such units are sold to the mutual fund and security transaction tax is paid on such in a transaction, sale transaction. That means you are supposed to suffer the STT in order to enjoy the concessional tax rate of 10% under section NIA. எப்போ STT பே பண்ணணும்? சேல் பண்ணும்போது. எப்போ? பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்ணும்போதா, சேல் பண்ணும்போதா, பர்ச்சேஸ் சேல் பண்ணும்போதா, பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்ணும்போதா, சேல் பண்ணும்போதா, பர்ச்சேஸ் சேல் பண்ணும்போதா? பாருங்கப்பா, அடி படிங்க. Long term capital gain on units of equity oriented mutual fund shall be taxable at 10% under 112A, where such units are sold through recognized stock exchange and STT has been paid on such what? Or such units are sold to the NF fund or security transaction tax has been paid on such NF transaction. Appa purchase or sale or purchase and sale? Only sale. This is a very important point because listed shares are the purchase and sale. Units, ரெண்டு units super asset இருக்கும். Only units of equity oriented fund, units of இது ரெண்டுக்கும் sale timeல மட்டும் STT போட்டா போதும். Right. Short term capital gain on units of equity oriented mutual fund shall be taxable at a concession rate of 15% under what section? Where such units are sold through edu valiya and security transaction has been paid on such in a transaction. Or such units are sold to mutual fund and security transaction tax has been paid on such in a transaction. Okay? Units of fund other than units of N oriented fund. So the fund is not equity oriented fund. Fund is a short term capital gain shall be taxable at N tax rate. That is short term, long term capital gain, sir, shall be taxable at the rate that is in 112. That is எத்தனை percentage? Beautiful summarize பண்ணிருக்கேன் பாரு. Taxation of NF fund. In the hands of mutual fund, income is exempted under section because of pass through reference. In the hands of unit holder, taxable under IFRS, subject to the proviso to section 57, maximum எத்தனை percent? TDS under section 194K and capital gain as below. You have to check whether the capital gain is from transfer of units from equity oriented fund or other than. If it is from equity oriented fund, you have to check whether it is long term capital gain or if it is long term capital gain, provisions of 112A will be applicable. If it is short term capital gain, provisions of 111A will be applicable. With regard to என்ன capital gain? Taxable at normal rate and long term capital gain taxable at 20% under section 112. Appreciating. With this taxation of political party, taxation of electoral trust, taxation of mutual fund comes to one. I'm moving to the last taxation, taxation of VPA. What is that? Various professional association. You know, there is one body called as VPA. Who is that VPA? Various professional association. Wow. This section apply only to trade, profession or an association. Other than professional association or institution referred under 1023A. So 1023A, for example, our ICI institute is there. They are professional body. Their entire income is exempted under 1023A. நயா பைசா அவங்க டாக்ஸ் கட்ட வேண்டியதில்லை. அவங்களுக்கு இன்கம் டாக்ஸ்க்கு சம்பந்தமே கிடையாது. Sir, I am not a trade body. I am not a professional body. I am not a similar association. Hello, sir. I am other than trade, professional or an association. The income of which or any part thereof is not distributed to its yarku, except as granted to any association or institution affiliated to it. So I am a trade, professional or similar association other than referred under section So trade, professional or similar association can be classified into two categories. Number one, covered under 1023A, not covered under 1023A. Right? Now we are going to talk about 1023A. Any income other than income chargeable under the head income from any property, or any income received or rendering any specific service or income by way of interest or dividend derived from its what? Of an association or institution established in India having its object the control, supervision, regulation or encouragement of specified professional. ICI is controlling, supervising, regulating, encouraging of NI. Shall not be included in the computation of NI income totally. So what they are saying, if you are a trade, professional or similar association covered under 1023A, then my dear lovable students, your income, any income other than IFHB, அப்ப ICI க்கு என்ன income இருக்க கூடாது? ஏனா நீங்க வந்து வீடு வாடகை கொடுறதுக்காக நீங்க REIT கிடையாது. That is a logic. Number 2, or any income rendering any என்ன services, நீங்க specific services render பண்ண கூடாது. Right sir? Or income by way of what or what? Derived from its investment. நீங்க FD போட்டு வைக்க கூடாது. அதே மாதிரி வந்து என்னன்னா எங்கேயும் இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணி டிவிடெண்ட் வாங்க கூடாது. பிகாஸ் அதுக்காக நீங்க பாடி ஆரம்பிக்கல. நீங்க பாடி ஆரம்பிச்சது எதுக்காகனா ப்ரொஃபஷனை வளர்த்துறதுக்காக. அப்ப காசு அதுக்காக தான் என்ன பண்ணும்? ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணணும். கரெக்டா? Then it is fully exempted under section 1023A. Political party என்ன செக்ஷன்? வெறும் 13A. கரெக்டா? இது 1023A. Now deficiency. We are going to talk about deficiency. இவங்களுக்கு யாருக்குன்னா not covered under என்ன? The deficiency is computed as follows. Any amount received during the previous year from its யார்கிட்ட இருந்து? By a subscription or otherwise, not being remuneration received for rendering any specific services to members. For example, ஒரு club வச்சிருக்கேன் நான், ரோட்டரி club மாதிரி. எனக்கு members கிட்ட இருந்து 50 lakh rupees என்ன வருது? Donations வருது. Subscription வருது. Yearly subscription வருது. அவங்களுக்காக நான் டிராமா, கூத்து, பாட்டு நடத்துறேன், மிச்சர் வாங்கி கொடுக்குறேன், எல்லாமே பண்ணி என்ன சார் அவங்கள சந்தோஷமா வச்சுக்கிறேன். Less expenditure incurred by such association during the previous year solely for protection or advancement of என்ன interest of its members. அப்ப 50 லட்சம் ரூபாய் வந்திருக்கு, 75 லட்சம் ரூபாய் செலவு பண்ணியிருக்கேன், 25 lakhs எனக்கு என்ன வந்திருக்கு? லாஸ் வந்திருக்கு. This is called as deficiency. This is called as deficiency. Expenditure deductible in computing income under any provision of this act and capital expenditure shall not be deductible. அப்ப இப்போ எனக்கு எவ்வளவு donation, that is subscription, 50 lakhs, எவ்வளவு செலவு, 25 lakhs, what is the short, 25 lakhs. This is called as deficiency. My dear lovable students, the deficiency is deductible as per the following step. இப்படி தான் deficiency டீல் பண்ணனும். PGBP before allowing what? Deficiency. And the deficiency allow பண்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி எவ்வளவு income. Less any set off, allowance or loss under any other provision of the act carry forward from the earlier என்ன year. முன்னாடி ஏதாவது carry forward பண்ணிருந்தா அதை என்ன பண்ணிடு? மைனஸ் பண்ணிடு. Less deficiency to the extent of n of the following. Either the amount of deficiency, that is amount of deficiency எவ்வளவு lakh? 25 lakhs. Or 50% of the total income before allowing the deficiency, whichever is what? Lower. Whichever is what? Lower. Below, I think we'll be doing a problem. At that time, all this will be cleared. In case of profits, business profits are less than the deficiency, if there is no profits or gains or deficiency allowable exceeds a profit, the whole or the balance of deficiency shall be allowed as deduction in computing the income of the what? Assessable for the relevant assessment year under any other head. For deduction thereof, above steps are allowed. Exception to the principle of mutuality. I will read it. I will do one question. I will come back what I am talking. Then only you will understand. A trade association furnishes the following details. So trade association. This is not covered under 1023A. Correct? Correct? யாரெல்லாங்க? Association or institution. யாரு யாரு யாரு? Trade. The section apply only to trade, professional or similar association. Other than the professional association or institution. Referred under what? 1023. So this is not covered under 1023A. If it is not covered under NIA, then it will be covered under 28 clause 3. What is section 28? Charging section. That means that income should be taxable under the head PGBP. மூணு பேர் இருக்காங்க. நம்பர் 1 trade, profession.
Similar association.
இந்த மூணு பேருங்கிறதுனால தான் 28 clause 3 னு வச்சிருக்காங்க charging section, right? A trade association furnishes the following details: a receipt by way of entrance fee and annual membership from members. membership fee எவ்வளவு வாங்கியிருக்காங்க? expenditure on members 4,60,000. அவங்களுக்காக 4,60,000 செலவு பண்ணிருக்கீங்க. அப்போ 1 lakh rupees எக்ஸ்ட்ரா செலவு பண்ணிருக்கீங்க. அப்போ டெஃபிஷியன்சி இருக்கு. bank interest, receipt from members for specific service, expenditure incurred on providing specific service to member, collection from non-member, expenditure on non-member, compute the taxable income of the trade association. இங்க வா, what this section is talking about altogether, that's what our discussion is all about. இப்போ நான் ஒரு கிளப் வச்சிருக்கேன். என் கிளப்ல வந்து 100 பேர், 1000 பேர், 500 பேர். அவங்க எனக்கு என்ன தராங்க? சப்ஸ்கிரிப்ஷன் தராங்க. சப்ஸ்கிரிப்ஷன் ஃபீஸ் எவ்வளவு கலெக்ட் பண்ணிருக்கேன்? 3,60,000. இந்த 3,60,000 rupees சப்ஸ்கிரிப்ஷன் வாங்கி நான் ஒரு ப்ரோக்ராம் கண்டக்ட் பண்ணுவேன். சாட்டர்டே ஆனா ஒரு ப்ரோக்ராம், சண்டே ஆனா ஒரு ப்ரோக்ராம், மந்த்லி ப்ரோக்ராம், நியூ இயர் ப்ரோக்ராம், கிறிஸ்மஸ் ப்ரோக்ராம், ஓணம் ப்ரோக்ராம், ஹலோ சார், தீபாவளி ப்ரோக்ராம், எனிதிங் யூ கேன் ஆட். இப்போ ஒன்றும் இல்லை, இந்த ட்ரேட் அசோசியேஷன் விட்டுரு, ஓன் கதைக்கு வா. நீ பேங்க்ல எஃப்டி போட்டால் அது டாக்ஸபிளா? எதுல? ஐஎஃப்ஐஎஸ்ல. நீ ஏதாவது சர்வீஸ் ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணி இன்கம் earn பண்ணா டாக்ஸபிளா? எதுல? பிஜிபிபில. அப்ப இது எல்லாமே சார் ஈவன் இந்த ட்ரேட் அசோசியேஷனுக்கு என்னதான் டாக்ஸபிள் தான். இது எல்லாமே ஐஎஃப்ஐஎஸ்ல வந்துரும். இந்த ஐஎஃப்ஐஎஸ்ல வராம இருக்கிறதுக்காக இவங்க என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னா 3,60,000 rupees என்ன வாங்கிட்டு சப்ஸ்கிரிப்ஷன் வாங்கிட்டு 4,60,000 rupees செலவு பண்ணிடுறாங்க. எவ்வளவு டெஃபிஷியன்சி? இந்த 1 lakh டெஃபிஷியன்சி எடுத்து அதர் இன்கத்துல செட் ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டு டோட்டல் இன்கம் 0 இப்படின்னு உலகம் ஃபுல்லா காட்டுறாங்க. அப்ப வாட் கவர்மெண்ட் செட் தட் if you are not a professional association who are covered under this deficiency, you cannot claim எத்தனை percentage? 100%. This deficiency you cannot claim. That deficiency will be restricted to either 50% of the other income or the amount of deficiency whichever is lower. அவ்வளவுதான் நாங்க என்ன பண்ண விடுவோம்னா claim பண்ண விடுவோம். Are you all really with me? Appreciate பண்றியா? So the taxable income of trade association shall be computed as under PGBP, income from members from specific service. எவ்வளவு இன்கம் வாங்கியிருக்க? எவ்வளவு செலவு? 40,000 rupees வருமானம். income from non member எவ்வளவு இன்கம்? எவ்வளவு செலவு? எவ்வளவு இன்கம்? டோட்டலா taxable income 1,03,000. IFOS bank interest how much? So total income before allowing deficiency how much? இப்ப டெஃபிஷியன்சியே இல்லாம இருந்திருந்தா இந்த ட்ரேட் அசோசியேஷன் 1,73,000 டாக்ஸ் கட்ட வேண்டியதா இருந்திருக்கும். ஆனா தலைவனுக்கு என்ன இருக்கு? ஏன் டெஃபிஷியன்சி இருக்குன்னா வேணும்னு டெஃபிஷியன்சி வருத்தி வச்சிருக்கான். அப்பதான் எனக்கு ஷார்ட் வரும். ஷார்ட் வந்தாதான் அதர் இன்கத்து கூட. So amount of deficiency is the lower. Actual deficiency 3,60,000 minus comes to how much? 1 lakh. Correct? What is the 50% of 1,73,000? Because that is the other income without or before deficiency. How much? அப்ப 1 lakh இல்ல 86,500? So 1,73,000 ல மேக்ஸிமம் 50% தான் நாங்க என்னவா கிளைம் பண்ண விடுவோம்? டிடக்ஷனா கிளைம் பண்ண விடுவோம். எங்களுக்கு ரிமைனிங் டோட்டல் இன்கம் 86,500 கண்டிப்பா என்ன பண்ணி தான் ஆகணும்? டாக்ஸ் பே பண்ணி தான். Net income from specific service to members 40,000 is also chargeable tax as per the provisions of 28 clause 3 of the act. That is what charging section. So what 28 clause 3 is saying that if in case of trade, profession, similar association who are not covered under will be covered under 28 clause 3. Okay, wow. Net receipt from non-members 63,000 is taxable as is tainted with commerciality as it has received from yarkitand. The deficiency on account of என்ன services to the members amounting to 1 lakh. Up members ki deficiency 1 lakh can be set off to the extent of the total income before allowing the balance deficiency of 13,500 shall not to be allowed to be enough forward. Put it on. That means they are restricting the amount of deficiency, my dear lovable students. Chennai ni boat club கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கியா? நம்மளோட இந்த என்ன சொல்றேன்னா ராட்டரி கிளப், காஸ்மோபாலிட்டன் கிளப், அதே மாதிரி ஒரு கிளப் தான் போட் கிளப். அவங்களுக்கு தான் இந்த மாதிரி செக்ஷன் அப்ளை ஆகும். ஓகேவா? போட் கிளப் இஸ் an association governed by provision of 44A. We know that 44A is compulsory maintenance of. This is 44A. என்னது? Sir, what is this section 44A? You can, in case of club who are taxable under 28 clause 3, they can set off only 50% of deficiency. That is what NIA? 44A. Have you heard about 44C?
Yes, sir.
Head office expenditure. That is also a restriction. Adamari 44A is also a restriction for 28 class 3 organization. Saying that you can set off only. So 44A. Boat club is an association governed by provision of 44A of the Income Tax Act. The subscription received from members for the year ended 31/3/2024 was 7 lakh. அப்ப 2 லட்சம் ரூபாய் subscription வாங்கியிருக்காங்க members கிட்ட இருந்து. Expenditure in the normal course of its activity was how much? 3,85,000. Its other income taxable under the act works out how much? You are consultant as to how boat club income would be determined for assessment year 24-25. In case association did not have other taxable income, will there be any difference in computation of its income is the question. அப்ப உங்களுக்கு 2 லட்சம் ரூபாய் என்ன வந்திருக்கு? Subscription வந்திருக்கு. எவ்வளவு செலவு? That means 1.85 lakhs is the deficiency. What is the income taxable under the act? 2,75,000. நீ என்ன மட்டும் நினைக்காத, நான் 2,75,000 minus 1,85,000 taxable income கம்மி பண்ணி விடலாம்னு மட்டும் நினைக்காத. That's what section NIA is saying, that maximum 50% of the other income before claiming deficiency. அப்ப 2,75,000 ஓட 50% comes to 1,37,500 or deficiency, whichever is lower. அப்ப you can claim only 1,37,000 as deduction. அப்ப உனக்கு what is the other income? 2,75,000 ல இருந்து எவ்வளவு தான் claim பண்ண முடியும்? 1,37,500 comes to 1,37,500 mandatory income declare பண்ணிதா. So as per section NIA 44A ஓட தம்பி 44A is deduction to 28. The deficiency arising on account of income from members by way of inter alia subscription falling short of the expenditure incurred solely for the protection or advancement of interest of its members shall first be set off against the association's income under the head what? If there is no such income under this head, deficiency shall be set off against under any other head. In the head illana vera endha head kuda set off panikalam. So what is income from subscription? Less expenditure in the course of its activity. What is the deficiency? What is other income? Deficiency of rupees 1,85,000 but restricted to comes to income of the association 1,37,000. There is a ceiling on the deduction admissible by of deficiency, being that it shall not exceed 1/2 of the net income of the association computed before making any allowance under this section. The ceiling has been exceeded above and deficiency hence is limited to how much? Being 1/2 of 2,75,000 as per 44A subsection 3. So in the section எதுக்காக introduce பண்ணிருக்காங்கன்னா, இன்கம் டாக்ஸ் ஆக்ட்ல இந்த அதர் அசோசியேஷன் கிட்ட இருந்து டாக்ஸே வர மாட்டேங்குது. ஏன் வர மாட்டேங்குதுன்னா, அதர் இன்கம் இருக்கு அவனுக்கு, ஆனா டெஃபிஷியன்சி கிரியேட் பண்ணி அவன் ரெண்டு என்ன பண்ணிடலாம்? இஃப் யூ ஆர் பேட், ஐ எம் யுவர் டேட். சார் கிளைம் மேக்ஸிமம். In case the association did not have other taxable income, then the total income shall be nil. கண்டிப்பா அதர் இன்கம் இல்லைன்னா டெஃபிஷியன்சி மட்டும் தான் இருக்கும் இல்லையா? So deficiency of 1,85,000 would have no any treatment and would not be any forward. That's it, game over man. Are you really with me? அதை என்ன பண்ண முடியாது? Set off பண்ண முடியாது, அதை என்னவும் பண்ண முடியாது, carry forwardum பண்ண முடியாது. So with this we have done with the taxation of political party, taxation of electoral trust, taxation of mutual fund, taxation of VPA. What is the concern section for political party? 13A. Electoral trust 13B. Mutual fund 1023D. VPA 44A read with 28 clause 3 or 28 clause 3 read with 44. I'm moving into the next taxation. Taxation of local authority. Taxation of
Local authority.
exemption under section 1020 pudusa 10 the income of local authority which is chargeable to tax under the head income from any property and any gain and income from any sources accruing or arising to it anywhere in or outside India, or income from a trade or business carried out by which accrues or arises to it from the supply of a commodity or service within its own jurisdiction area, or from the supply of water, electricity within or outside its own jurisdiction area, are totally exempt from what? அப்ப நீ யாரா இருக்க? Local authority இருக்க. For you, section 10 subsection 20 will be applicable. Income from என்ன property? Tax கட்ட வேண்டிய. Capital gain, tax கட்ட வேண்டிய. ஒரு local authority salary இருக்குமா? வாய்ப்பே இல்ல சார். போய் வேலை போய் பண்ண முடியாது. Number 2, IFHB இருக்குமா? Exempted. PGBP இருக்க கூடாது. கரெக்ட்டா? Next one, capital gain இருக்கலாம், exempted. Next NOS. Income from other source இருக்கலாம், exempted. Then வேற என்ன? Accruing or arising to anywhere. இன்னொரு எங்க? அப்ப இந்தியால இருந்து இன்கம் வந்தாலும் சரி, or income from dash or dash. Carried on by it. Carried on by it. அப்போ trade or which accrues it from the supply of. அது எப்படி வரணும்னா commodity or what? With its என்ன ஏரியா? ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஐ எம் லோக்கல் அத்தாரிட்டி. நீ ஒரு 100 மாடு வச்சிருக்க, நான் உங்ககிட்ட பால் வாங்குறேன், நான் என்னோட ஏரியாவில் எல்லாருக்கும் பாலை கொடுத்துறேன் சார். ஒரு மில்மா மாதிரி நான் ஒர்க் பண்ணுறேன் சார். நான் ஒரு ஆவின் பாலோட டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட்டராக ஒர்க் பண்ணுறேன் சார், லோக்கல் அத்தாரிட்டியாக ஒர்க் பண்ணுறேன். அந்த வேலையிலேருந்து எனக்கு என்ன வருதுன்னா இன்கம் வருது. அந்த PGBP is exempt. Or from the supply of water, electricity within or outside its what? அது within இருக்கலாம், இல்லைன்னா இருக்கலாம், are totally exempt from tax. That means this is என்ன சார், water, electricity, statutory function interest at municipality under article 243W, article 243G. From there and all, if you are getting income, it is enough from exempted from income tax under section 1020. So IFHB is exempted, capital gain is exempted, PGBP is exempted, but restricted PGBP, and even IFIS is also. In other words, local authority is taxable only in respect of income arising to it from any business carried on by, provided that such income arising from the supply of any commodity or service not being what or what outside its jurisdiction area, that is in any limits. அப்போ ஒரு local authority என்ன பண்றாங்க? பிசினஸ் பண்றாங்க. அந்த பிசினஸ் வந்து என்ன or என்ன? commodity or services from supply of water or electricity. எங்க கிடையாது? எங்க கிடையாது? jurisdictionல கிடையாது. From any business carried on by it, provided that such income arising from supply of any commodity or service not being water or water. அப்ப water, electricity allowed, not being water or electricity outside its jurisdiction area, that is any limits. Local authorities chargeable tax at எத்தனை percent? To its total income of the previous year, compute in accordance with the provisions of the act, plus surcharge at எத்தனை percent? If its total income exceeds எத்தனை crore, plus health and education cess. அப்ப இங்க வா ராஜா, we are talking about taxation of various entities, other entities இல்லையா? Number 1, political party 13A. What and all income? IFHB, capital gain, IFOS, voluntary contribution. That's it. Electoral trust 13B, only voluntary contribution, provided 95% has been passed on. And number 2, central government rules you have followed. These are the 2 conditions you are supposed to follow. Next one, mutual fund 1023D, 100% exempted in the hands of the mutual fund. It is taxable in the hands of the unit holder or shareholder, basically unit holder. Next one, VPA 28 class 3, read with 44A. Deficiency should be restricted to 50% or actual deficiency, whichever is. Then taxation of local authority, section 10 subsection 20. All income are exempted basically. Like IFHB, PGBP is restricted, correct? Then capital gain, IFOS, all are exempted, right? So we have done taxation of political party, taxation of electoral trust, taxation of mutual fund, taxation of VPA, taxation of, we are having taxation of life insurance business. Hello sir. We are having 115 ACA, which is applicable to GDR to a resident person. We are having carbon credit 115 BBG. Are you all really with me? These are the other income which we have to discuss. So revise this part, very small part in the coming slot. I will be revising this part and will be completing the balance, my dear lovable students. This may come for 5 to 6 mark in examination, any one slot. Why to leave that 5 to 6 mark? This is our attempt. We are going to complete. We'll meet at the appropriate time. Thank you. Bye bye from ANM.